What's up everyone, welcome back to another episode. It's been a while since I posted a video, so my apologies to everyone. I do want to thank everybody for subscribing, liking, and commenting. I really appreciate everything. I mean, it really helps the channel, helps me become a little more creative with my content, and allows me also to see where I need to improve. So with that being said, my apologies. I haven't vlogged since last year, so Happy New Year to everyone as well. And again, a special thanks to everyone who subscribed, who watched, and to everybody else who watches the videos. It really means a lot to me, and it really motivates me to make more of these videos out for everyone else to enjoy, get a good laugh out of, and maybe learn a thing or two here and there. And today actually is going to be one of those days where I'm going to be doing a quick install of a release lever on an E92 M3. This actually belongs to my good friend Brian. He's you guys can follow him on Instagram. He goes by M3 Flight. Again, check him out. He's got a lot of great content. He's got an amazing E92 M3 that to me it's like one of a kind. It's got the perfect spec. It's what I would do if I had an E92. I mean, it's, as you guys can see, it's got the wheels. The color itself is just amazing. It's just very much of an M color. So again, a lot of great options on this car, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one more thing to it. He's got the BMW mperformance seats, and again, like I had mentioned, I'm just gonna go ahead and install the lever that goes right here on the seat that allows the reclining a lot easier. This one comes with the reclining, but it does it manually, so you have to kind of just turn the knob in order for you to get that tilt process. And to do this, as you're trying to get in the car, it's a long process. You don't want to really spend a lot of time doing this, so we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be installing it. I'll show you the process, but like I said, if you guys just maybe want to check out his car really quick. As you guys can see, he's got the BVS's with the StopTech big brake kit. That's a very nice addition. Again, these are like the things I would do. And then he's got the little lug nuts to match the bolts on the side around the wheel. That's a very nice touch. It's got the side skirts by Ginman again, and that big brake kit looks really good. He's also got the GT4 lip, the version 2. So I mean that's a nice addition that he just had. He's got a lot of goodies under the hood, and again, I mean it's just perfectly modded up to the roof, the 1x1 roof. Again, this is the spec I would get. And I mean, let me tell you guys, the interior, by far, it's one of the best interiors that I've seen. I mean, one of my favorites, like I said. If you guys want to check it out, it's got the electronic steering wheel with the carbon fiber leather wrap on the sides. Perfect. That way you don't have to worry about the Alcantara. And I mean, look at all that. It just feels really nice. Just everywhere, all in the right places, just where you want to feel that special carbon fiber trim. And as you guys just saw, the seats, the Alcantara seats go really nicely pair up with the front seats. So again, another special touch that this car has that I haven't seen on any other. So this install would honestly enhance, well, maybe make a little improvement on what's already a nice, beautiful build. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get to the install. The first step that I did with this install is actually remove the covers that are right here. So basically I just used a pry tool to remove the covers. It's held with these little clips right here. So once these clips are removed, we can go ahead and remove the torque screws. I believe these are T20s or T15s. But I'm gonna go ahead and start removing those, and then once I remove them, I'll show you guys the next step. Alright, so we moved from the covers to the bottom of the seat. Now this one has four 6 hex screws, the number 6. And for these up here, these are a little more complicated. So you have to have either a small ratchet or an Allen wrench to be able to get in here, because it's a very tight fit. As you can see, I have the rail right here in the way. So in order for me to make sure that I'm getting the best grip on on the bolt head, so I don't strip it, I need to make sure that I have a good proper tool. So again, right now with me, just you see the little attachment, little size 8, the ratchet, and the bolt with the little hex tool. These are a lot easier, so I mean for that one I can just use the regular tool that I would have used, which would be this one, the number 6, and then I'll just remove the rest of these. So once I'm done removing these, I'll show you guys the next step. Alright, so the next step right here is just once the bolts are loose, you just go ahead and remove these the harness that's clipped with these push clips. So all you do is you just grab your pry tool, you just pop them off without breaking them, making sure that when you put them back on, it's just going to stay in place. We'll just move it to the side, and then there goes the bottom half of your seat. So at this point, if you want, you can also clean it up, get everything dusted off. I mean, this is one of the parts that gets really hard to clean, even though you might spend a good amount of time. There's always like little hidden crevices that need a little attention. So we'll go ahead and get this cleaned out before we reassemble everything. But right now, let's get everything disassembled stuff. Alright, so now that we put away the bottom part of it, we have to loosen it up from the bottom. And as you guys can see, you guys can do it by hand. All you gotta do is just peel it back little by little, making sure that you don't damage any of this little strip right here, so that way it can tuck in nicely where it needs to go. So once that part's done, then we move on to the inner side over here, and it's the same thing over here. You see how everything seems like really nicely tucked in? We'll go ahead and we'll untuck everything, and we'll remove the cover over here. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing it, and then I'll show you guys once I get halfway. Alright, so to remove the seams from this side, all you do is just kind of lift up a little bit on the corner, and then pry it up, like pull it towards you, and everything just kind of comes right off. You gotta love this kind of engineering, because there's really nothing that you need to screw on, or it just everything just kind of slides off very easily. Alright, so we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys what everything looks once I remove the leather. Alright, so the next step is once the cover is removed, we'll go ahead and slide the new lever, and we'll just kind of follow the guides on the holes, making sure everything is good on this side. Perfect. And now we'll go ahead and we'll use the little push pins like on this over here to keep this in place. Then we'll go ahead and we'll run the wire behind over here to latch on. We'll have to run it through this hole right here, and then this one is going to have to be run through that side, and that's going to give us access to where they need to go on to the hinge. So once I go ahead and fasten this up, we'll pick it up again. Alright, so I've done 3 of these. I'm doing the last one. I'm using these vice grips, and I leave them this open so that way when I push, it's gonna go ahead and fit right through it, and it's gonna allow me to push all the way through the little pin or whatever that is, the locking. It's a locking washer. So once the locking washer is on there, it won't allow it to come off. So again, it's just being patient, getting it positioned correctly. And since I'm reusing these do have a little contour to them right now, but let's pause. Let's take a little pause for the cause. There we go. Now that it's lined up, you guys see how it's open? It's going to allow me to just push on through. There we go. As you guys just saw, it just once it goes in, you guys will be able to see how it locks into place. Now, it might not look pretty, but this is not going anywhere. So as you guys can see, now the next step will be to run the wires. So we'll go ahead and set it up, and then we'll show you right now what the next step will be. Alright, so this was one of the difficult parts of the install, is actually routing the wires into the little latch that's going to allow it to recline, as opposed to having to just twist this knob over here. But what you have to do is you have to run this wire right here between that little hole and between this section, and in there, I'm not sure if you can see, but right there where my finger's pointing, I don't know if the camera can focus that well, but in there's a little like a little pin, you could say, that sticks out. And then if you take a look from down here, actually I think from in here in this angle, I don't know if you can pick it up, but trying to see which is the best angle for this. So once you look a little deep inside right there, you can see that there's that little notch, and when you run your little cord, it has like a locking pin, so you gotta slide it right through, and then once you slide it through, you push it up so it can lock into place. Now again, it's very difficult to see because it's just an area where it's just so reduced. So we'll try to get you a better view later. Alright, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and close this side up right now, since the latch is already hooked on, and since I don't want to lose or misplace any of the hardware, it'll just be best if I assemble everything while I have all the pieces nicely organized. So again, we're halfway through the install, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all this side done, and then I gotta take all these bolts off on this side, and then we'll do the same thing. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put these back on, and then we'll pick it up in a little bit. Right now I'm just tightening them by hand, making sure that they go in smoothly, and then once it's already done, I have my little screwdriver that will allow me to just get everything nicely buttoned up. And since it's already has a marking, I'm gonna make sure that everything is tight right back to the mark. I'm not tightening it up all the way because I want to make sure everything looks flush and smooth, so I'm just tightening it up a little bit, and then once I see everything is nicely set, I'll do the final tightening. Alright, so one of the things that right now I needed to make sure was this actually snapped into place. As you guys can see, this actually just slides on there, but in order for you to do it, you have to put the bottom in first and then push the top part in, and that's going to keep it all nice in place. So when we do pull the strap, everything should just work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and continue buttoning up the rest of this side over here, and then we'll get to the rest. Alright, so after a little bit of a struggle, because again, you have to be able to get that little hook. It's kind of like a hook like this. It starts off a little fat so that the locking pin can go in, and then once it's in, you have to pull it up so that it can stay and lock in place, and that's what's going to keep it in place. And basically, this is a nice shot over here. If you can help me get this view over here for them, because this kind of explains. There's that little little latch pin right there, and that's where that little thing is supposed to go on to. So as you guys can see, it's very, unfortunately,
need some light there.
About there. So if you guys can see that little shiny pin right there, that one right there, you slide in that little hook through there, and then that's able to allow this to recline. As you guys can see, you guys can see it move right now. If you can just point it right there. So see, that's what allows the recline from just with
do it
the
again.
strap.
Do it again. There you go. There you go.
There it is.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and button everything up right here, put the cover back on. Yeah, this is basically the end of it. I'm just gonna go ahead and reassemble everything, put the covers back on, the padding, and as you guys can see right there, I mean, this is a great feature to have. And I know like Brian must have been struggling for a while just turning that knob down there, but man, this came out really good. I'm very happy with it. So I'll go ahead and I'll close up everything over here, button it up really good, and then we'll put the covers back on. We'll clean. Alright, so the seats were already, I vacuumed it, got everything cleaned out, everything works as you guys just saw earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on, but since it's Alcantara, I definitely don't want to just touch it with my hands, so I'm putting some gloves on and making sure that if I do touch it, at least, you know, there's no oils or anything on there. These are new gloves. It's gonna maintain the Alcantara nice and clean, and my oils are gonna remain with me and not on the seat. So at this point, everything just kind of slides right into place. As you guys can see, everything, all the molding is already kind of pre-done, so you just kind of slide it over, and I'll go ahead and get this situated, and then I'll show you guys how to just tuck everything back into place. It's basically going to be the opposite of how we removed it. So I'll get everything lined up, and then I'll show you guys the process. Alright, so once you get all the molding into place, you can either start at the top or on the sides. I'll start at the side over here. That way you guys can see how I'll just tuck it in. So we're going to do the opposite of how we pulled it off. Instead of pulling it towards us, we're going to fold it inwards, and then we're going to make sure that the slit falls right into place. And really, there is just no way of missing like the little groove where this goes onto. So again, it's just patience, and depending on what kind of seats you're doing this on, you might want to just have the right kind of hand protection. So again, just maneuver it right over the little lip on there, and then once it's there, you just push it into place. As you guys can see, this side is already done. I'll double check it right now, and we'll just move over to the other side. Now that's the beauty of these car covers and seats nowadays, that everything is just so engineered properly to where if you need to replace something on the seat, it could just be the cover. I mean, basically the bones, the structure is intact, and sometimes what you just need to replace is just the upholstery. And with it being so easily done to remove and put back, it's a no-brainer of what, you know, why not switching it out if it's damaged. But this one is just in mint condition. Alright, so as you guys just saw, everything's already done. I don't want to put these on just yet because I still need to go ahead and put the bottom, but I just want to, ow, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. I just want to, ow. So as you guys can see right here, everything is nicely tucked in. Nothing is sticking out so everything is properly done. So we'll go ahead and we'll slide this down, and then again we'll go ahead and put our hex number 6 on here, and then we'll get everything tied up. But before we do, let me clean the rails right here. Everything looks so nice and neat. Let's not leave that untouched. Alright, when you put these back on, make sure that you have Loctite. These actually came with Loctite, so basically it'll prevent it from coming undone. Everything's already done on this side. As you guys can see, we put the clips back on here, so we just need to plug everything back in once we get it back in the car. All I need to do now is just add the parts that go on the inside. these right here. So I'll just snap in the top parts on there. I'll just snap into place, and then got the few little T15 screws on there. Just tighten them up, and that pretty much sums up the install for this. And then obviously just putting it back in the car. But then we put the covers back on, and then for these, basically they snap on. They have these little hooks right here, and they snap on right here on these. So we'll put them in carefully, make sure that everything lines up properly. Make sure that we get a nice lock. You guys just heard that little click. So let me go ahead and put this one on, and then once I put the screws on, we'll go ahead and pick it up right there. Alright guys, so the install for the seat reclining strap has already been done. If you guys just want to kind of take a quick look over here. So now whenever he wants to move his seat forward, he doesn't need to turn it from here. He just needs to pull the lever, and boom, just like that. And then once he's done with it, just closes it. And you know, at this point, he can still use this to like obviously adjust it to his seating position, but this has a memory to where whenever he's done, you know, loading this passenger in the rear, boom, it's closed and it's done. So thank you, Brian, for allowing me to help you out with the install. It was an amazing process. I really appreciate the time that you took to come out here, and you know, also for allowing the viewers to see how easily it can be done. It is a little time consuming, but it's easily done. So go ahead and thank you for watching this whole video. And again, I am gonna go ahead and keep posting more often. Thank you for tuning in, and you know, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, turn on your notifications, that way you don't miss out on the next video. And I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.